Welcome, future chemical engineers and scientists. Today, we embark on an exciting journey into the heart of organic chemistry, focusing on alkenes and alkynes. Specifically, we'll unravel the mysteries of Markovnikov's rule, a fundamental concept that governs how atoms add to unsaturated hydrocarbons. We'll start with the basics, then dive into mechanisms, exceptions, and advanced applications, preparing you for the toughest challenges. Let's begin our four-level exploration. Ready to discover a simple rule that predicts what happens when you mix certain chemicals? Let's explore Markovnikov's rule at an easy level. Markovnikov's rule is a guiding principle in organic chemistry, especially for addition reactions. It tells us where the hydrogen atom from a protic acid, like HBr, will attach when it reacts with an unsymmetrical alkene or alkyne. The rule states that the hydrogen atom prefers to go to the carbon atom of the double bond that already has a greater number of hydrogen atoms. Conversely, the negative part of the reagent, like bromine, attaches to the carbon with fewer hydrogens. This concept is often simplified by saying, the rich get richer, meaning the carbon already abundant in hydrogen attracts even more hydrogen. This rule is particularly applicable to reactions known as electrophilic additions. These are common reactions where an electron-deficient species, an electrophile, attacks the electron-rich double or triple bond. Let's take a common example. Propene reacting with HBr. Propene is an unsymmetrical alkene because the two carbons of the double bond have different numbers of hydrogen atoms. HBr is also an unsymmetrical reagent. According to Markovnikov's rule, the hydrogen from HBr will attach to the first carbon of propene, which has two hydrogens, and the bromine will attach to the second carbon, which has only one hydrogen. This leads to 2-bromopropane as the major product. This simple example illustrates the power of Markovnikov's rule in predicting the outcome of these crucial reactions. Now that you've grasped the basics of Markovnikov's rule, it's time to test your understanding. Here are 3 practice questions to help solidify your knowledge. Take a moment to think about each scenario, identify the unsymmetrical alkene and reagent, and apply the rule to predict the major product. Remember, practice is key to mastering these concepts. Good luck! Let's deepen our understanding of Markovnikov's rule. Why does it work the way it does? The answer lies in the reaction's underlying mechanism and the stability of its intermediates. Markovnikov's rule isn't just a prediction, it's a direct consequence of the reaction mechanism. Most additions to alkenes, including those following Markovnikov's rule, proceed via an electrophilic addition pathway. This mechanism typically involves 2 main steps. First, an electrophile, usually a proton from an acid, attacks the electron-rich carbon-carbon double bond. This attack leads to the formation of a positively charged species called a carbocation. This step is often slow and determines the overall rate of the reaction. In the second, much faster step, a nucleophile, such as a halide ion, attacks this newly formed carbocation, completing the addition and forming the final product. Understanding these steps is crucial for predicting the outcome. The key to Markovnikov's regioselectivity lies in the stability of the carbocation intermediate. Carbocations are classified based on the number of alkyl groups attached to the positively charged carbon, primary, secondary, or tertiary. Tertiary carbocations, with 3 alkyl groups, are the most stable, followed by secondary, and then primary, which are the least stable. This stability order is due to electron-donating effects like hyperconjugation and inductive effects from the surrounding alkyl groups, which help to disperse and stabilize the positive charge. When an electrophile attacks an unsymmetrical alkene, it has 2 possible carbons to attach to. The rule holds because the electrophile always adds in a way that generates the more stable carbocation intermediate. Let's revisit our propene and HBr example, but this time, focusing on the carbocation intermediate. When H+ from HBr attacks propene, it can attach to either the first or second carbon of the double bond. If H plus adds to the first carbon, a secondary carbocation forms on the second carbon, which is relatively stable. However, if H plus were to add to the second carbon, a less stable primary carbocation would form on the first carbon. Since the reaction proceeds through the more stable intermediate, the secondary carbocation is preferentially formed. Subsequently, the bromide ion, acting as a nucleophile, quickly attacks this more stable secondary carbocation, leading predominantly to 2-bromopropane. This step-by-step analysis clearly shows how carbocation stability dictates the regioselectivity of the addition. You've now delved into the mechanism behind Markov-Nikov's rule, understanding the critical role of carbocation stability and regioselectivity. It's time to apply this deeper knowledge. Here are 5 practice questions that will challenge you to think about the intermediates, stability, and specific product outcomes. Analyze each reaction carefully, considering the formation of carbocations. Take your time, draw out the structures, and reinforce your understanding. Let's see how well you can predict the preferred pathways. Now, let's elevate our understanding. We'll explore complex scenarios, exceptions, and the broader implications of Markov-Nikov's rule, pushing into advanced concepts like rearrangements and stereochemistry. While carbocation stability is the cornerstone of Markov-Nikov's rule, these intermediates are not static. Carbocations can undergo rearrangements to achieve even greater stability. This often involves 1,2 hydride shifts, where a hydrogen atom with its electron pair migrates from an adjacent carbon to the positively charged carbon, or 1,2 alkyl shifts, where an alkyl group migrates. These shifts typically convert a less stable carbocation, like a secondary one, into a more stable tertiary carbocation, leading to products that might not be predicted by a simple application of Markov-Nikov's rule alone. Recognizing these rearrangements is crucial for accurately predicting reaction outcomes in more complex alkenes. Furthermore, a significant exception is the anti-Markov-Nikov addition of HBr in the presence of peroxides, which proceeds via a free radical mechanism, leading to a different product distribution. This peroxide effect is specific to HBr and does not occur with HCl or Hi. Let's compare how different reagents behave in addition reactions. For example, HBr, HCl, and Hi generally follow Markov-Nikov's rule, forming carbocation intermediates, unless peroxides are present for HBr acid-catalyzed hydration. Using H2O and an acid catalyst also follows Markov-Nikov's rule, producing alcohols via carbocation intermediates, and is susceptible to rearrangements. In contrast, the addition of halogens like Br to 2 alkenes does not follow Markov-Nikov's rule because it involves a symmetrical reagent and proceeds through a cyclic halonium ion intermediate, typically leading to anti-addition products. Understanding these distinctions is vital for predicting the correct product and mechanism for various electrophilic addition reactions. Each reagent has its own nuances, influencing regioselectivity and sometimes stereoselectivity. Connecting Markov-Nikov's rule to broader chemical theories provides a deeper insight. The principle of forming the most stable carbocation intermediate is rooted in fundamental concepts like hyperconjugation and inductive effects, which stabilize positive charges. Moreover, the Hammond postulate offers a theoretical framework, stating that the transition state for an exothermic step resembles the reactants, while for an endothermic step, it resembles the products or intermediates. In electrophilic addition, the first step, carbocation formation, is often endothermic, meaning the transition state resembles the carbocation. Therefore, factors stabilizing the carbocation also stabilize the transition state, lowering the activation energy and favoring its formation. This explains why the more stable carbocation is preferentially formed, reinforcing the thermodynamic basis of Markov-Nikov's rule. This connection bridges reaction mechanisms with energy profiles. You've now tackled carbocation rearrangements, the anti-Markov-Nikov effect, and compared various addition reagents. It's time to test your expanded knowledge with these 7 challenging practice questions. These problems will require you to think critically, consider multiple mechanistic pathways, and predict both regioselective and potentially rearranged products. Pay close attention to reaction conditions, as they can dramatically alter the outcome. Draw out mechanisms and intermediates to ensure accuracy. This level of problem solving is essential for success in competitive exams like JEE Advanced. Take your time and analyze each question thoroughly. Welcome to the hardest level. Here, we dive into the most intricate details of Markovnikov's rule, exploring advanced reaction mechanisms, stereochemical control, and how these principles are applied in complex organic synthesis and competitive problem solving. Beyond simple regioselectivity, the stereochemistry of addition reactions is crucial. Electrophilic additions can result in either SYN or anti-addition, dictating the relative spatial arrangement of the added groups. For instance, the addition of bromine to an alkene typically proceeds via a cyclic bromonium ion intermediate, leading to anti-addition, where the two bromine atoms add to opposite faces of the double bond. In contrast, some reactions, like hydroboration oxidation, exhibit SYN addition. When a reaction forms a new chiral center via a planar carbocation, the nucleophile can attack from either face, usually resulting in a racemic mixture of enantiomers. Understanding these stereochemical outcomes is vital for predicting the full structure of the product, not just its connectivity. These details are critical for advanced synthetic strategies. While acid-catalyzed hydration follows Markovnikov's rule, it often suffers from carbocation rearrangements. To circumvent this, chemists employ oxymercuration-demercuration. This two-step process achieves Markovnikov addition of water without rearrangement. First, the alkene reacts with mercury, 2-acetate in water to form a cyclic mercurinium ion, which is attacked by water at the more substituted carbon. This cyclic intermediate prevents rearrangement. Subsequently, reduction with sodium borohydride replaces the mercury group with hydrogen, yielding the alcohol. Conversely, for anti-Markovnikov hydration, hydroboration oxidation is used. Borne adds to the alkene in a concerted SYN fashion, with boron attaching to the less substituted carbon, followed by oxidation with hydrogen peroxide. This reaction is both regioselective, anti-Markovnikov, and stereospecific, SYN addition, making it indispensable for synthesizing primary alcohols from terminal alkenes, a feat not easily achieved by other methods. These reactions highlight the power of precise reagent design to control reaction outcomes. The Hammond postulate provides a powerful theoretical framework for understanding reaction kinetics and intermediate stability. It states that the transition state of a reaction step resembles the species, reactants, products, or intermediates to which it is closest in energy. In electrophilic addition, the rate-determining step is the formation of the carbocation. Since this step is typically endothermic, the transition state for carbocation formation closely resembles the carbocation itself. Therefore, any factor that stabilizes the carbocation, such as the presence of electron-donating alkyl groups or resonance, also stabilizes the transition state, thereby lowering the activation energy for its formation. This direct correlation explains why the pathway leading to the more stable carbocation is kinetically favored and thus predominates, providing a robust justification for Markovnikov's rule from an energy perspective. It links fundamental principles of chemical kinetics and thermodynamics. In advanced organic synthesis, controlling regioselectivity and stereoselectivity is paramount. Markovnikov's rule and its variations are foundational tools. For example, if you need to synthesize a secondary alcohol from a terminal alkene, acid-catalyzed hydration or oxymercuration-demercuration would be your go-to Markovnikov methods. However, if a primary alcohol from the same terminal alkene is desired, hydroboration oxidation, with its anti-Markovnikov and SYN addition characteristics, becomes the preferred route. The ability to choose the correct reagent and conditions to achieve a specific regiochemical or stereochemical outcome is a hallmark of a skilled organic chemist. This strategic application of reaction principles is what truly differentiates basic understanding from mastery, enabling the design of complex synthetic pathways for pharmaceuticals, materials, and other valuable compounds. This knowledge is directly applicable to challenging advanced problems. You've journeyed through the most challenging aspects of Markov-Nikod's rule, including intricate stereochemistry, advanced reagents like oxymercuration, demercuration, and hydroboration oxidation, and the theoretical underpinnings of the Hammond postulate. Now, it's time to consolidate this high-level understanding. Here are the first 5 out of 10 competitive-level practice questions. These problems demand a comprehensive grasp of mechanisms, rearrangements, stereochemical outcomes, and synthetic strategies. Approach each question with a critical eye, drawing out intermediates and considering all possible pathways. This is where your advanced preparation truly shines. Take your time, analyze deeply, and apply all you've learned. Continuing our ultimate challenge, here are the remaining 5 practice questions from 6 to 10. These problems are designed to push your understanding to its limits, requiring you to synthesize information, compare different reaction conditions, and predict nuanced outcomes. Think about how solvent effects might play a role, how starting material structure influences stereochemistry, and how to differentiate between subtle mechanistic variations. Mastering these types of questions will equip you with the advanced problem-solving skills necessary for top performance in Advanced. Keep pushing your boundaries, and good luck with these final challenging problems. Congratulations on completing this comprehensive journey through Markov-Nikod's rule. From the basics to the most advanced concepts, you've gained invaluable insights into regioselectivity, stereochemistry, and reaction mechanisms. Remember, consistent practice and a deep understanding of fundamentals are key to excelling in advanced chemistry. For more such in-depth educational content, practice questions, and expert-led lessons, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates and to continue your learning adventure. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep growing. See you in the next session.